Ski Studios in the house. Hey man, right? The news is going crazy, huh? Remember Jay-Z? I got 99 problems and it's probably a minor. Hey man, he's gonna get smoked on this one. Whether it's in the wallet or something, man. But when people get in trouble, you know what I mean? Usually when you're younger, you know what I mean? The first thing that you get in trouble for, you end up with probation. And when I got on probation for the first time, it's actually when the first time that I ever realized that I actually had like a real problem with, partying and stuff. And this, I'm going to do this one about the drug testing. You know what I mean? Obviously you're on there and they throw you on testing. You got to take a urine test, usually, I don't know, mine was like 2-3 times a week. You know what I mean? And back then it wasn't even as good as it is now, because now you're going to have severe problems. You used to be able to get a drink or something. I got the drink before, spent like $100 on it back when like minimum wage was $5 an hour. Didn't work. You know what I mean? So anyways, right, I had a problem with the white stuff, you know what I mean, and used to be able to call on the day before, the night before, and you could see if you had a test the next day, and we didn't have tests on Sundays. So on Friday, I would call for Saturday, and if I didn't have the test the next day, I could drink. Well, anybody that's ever had a problem with that white stuff, when you start drinking, once you get about 5-6 beers in you, you're calling up the guy. And that happened to me numerous times. You know what I mean? I tell myself I'm just going to drink. And, I guess it actually makes a chemical reaction inside your brain once you do it enough times that when you start drinking, it triggers you to want the other stuff. So, and then I'd wake up Saturday and I'd be like, man, you know what I mean? Everybody knows it takes minimum 3 days to get out of your system. And if you don't have a test on Saturday, you'll definitely have one on Monday. Multiple things I did to get out of the tests, and I'm going to go over a couple of them with you. One of the first ones that I did was I worked out nonstop, guzzling water for days. You know what I mean? Like all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and Monday half the day, because I had to take the test like pretty early. You know what I mean? I used to have to go to a thing that's called OCC. And you'd have the test before OCC. So, you know what I mean? I'd be getting it at like 10 in the morning. I'd get up super early. Dude, I had like this remote control fireplace. I put the trash bag on. I'm guzzling water, doing push-ups, sweating my butt off. You know what I mean? And I used to have to take a bus to the place. And I couldn't even make it all the way to the place because I was drinking so much water that I had to friggin' piss on the way there. I ended up like making it a good amount of the way, and I had to piss. I ended up having to call a cab to get there because I wouldn't have made it there on time. And do you know what happened? Came up diluted, and it still came up suspicious for that white stuff. Didn't work. Then the next time that this happened, because I would always make it a good a few weeks or something, and I would end up doing it again. And that's the problem with addiction, man. You know what I mean? Like you think, oh, I could just drink tonight, and once you drink, your brain, you know what I mean, you start to have less fear on anything, and you do whatever you want. And and then you're like, oh, I'll just do a little bump. And then after you do the bump, you're like, well, I already did it. I might as well just go hard. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I did. But the next time, what I did was because I knew, like, you know what I mean, I was skating on thin ice. And, I ended up calling up a hospital and pulling the stuff that you say to make them take you into a friggin' mental ward. And, yeah, that worked. But, you're gone for a week. You know what I mean? Like, you just... You know what I mean? You're not getting any closer to finishing this OCC because you got to go 3 months with passing the test. It's so crazy when I think back, man. I thank God, man, I'm like clean now. And, I actually did that a couple times. I guess nowadays, if you were to do that, you'd end up, they tell you that they want you to go to the hospital and get the sheet from when you got admitted, because they know that they give you a test before you go in. So that isn't going to work anymore. You know what I mean? I guess as long as you have like a regular probation around here, that's how it is. And another time, you know what I mean? Like, I ended up having to go into a stay-in program because I could do good in those. You know what I mean? And another time, something, that people have done is, like, and this actually happened to me the last time, and I wasn't doing this to cheat them, but, you know what I mean? It can kind of work that way too, is when I first started probation, I said I cannot urine in front of somebody. I get stage fright. And it's crazy because multiple years of my life, I've been in programs, probation, everything. And I used to just be able to pretty much go on demand. I don't know, I went a good amount of period of time without getting in trouble or anything. And when I got in trouble again, and they, even though I was passing the pre-trial probation and everything, I had trouble urinating in front of people. So I ended up, telling them right off the rip, I can't go. Because I kept on not being able to go. And I ended up going there and whatever, and they ended up seeing that I really am clean. They ended up giving me a mouth swab. It's like a cotton thing they stick in your mouth. You know what I mean? And those are a lot easier to pass. You know what I mean? If you put water in your mouth, right before you go in, and you try to get the water right on there. But if you are you just used earlier that day, there's no way in hell that you're going to pass. You know what I mean? You're definitely not going to pass then, because I don't know, man. That when I started getting on drug testing, that's when I actually realized, I always knew, I was an alcoholic or an addict, but I didn't really realize what it was until I ended up on testing. Because that, I had 18 months suspended and I didn't want to do it. And, and I know that if I used and I fail a test, I'm gonna probably, maybe not the first time I'm gonna get it, but you get that a few times and they are gonna put you in. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll give you a month at first, but then you come out and you mess up again, you're gonna end up getting the time. You know what I mean? And here's my thing. I'll tell you, my little advice if I have it for you. If you really know that you're not gonna be able to pass, don't take probation. Or I guess, you can get out and go on the run. You know what I mean? I ain't suggesting that because, you're definitely going to get the full time. And, if you could just wrap it up right from the beginning. You know what I mean? A lot of courts, though, don't like to do that. They'll say, oh, we'll give you a year with 18 months suspended. But if you want to take the whole thing, they're going to give you a 2.5. And you're like, man. You know what I mean? 2.5's a long time. But you got to think, when you are in jail, you get into, jail mode. You know what I mean? And getting out and then having to go back in again, everybody in your life is going to know, yo, you messed up again. You know what I mean? That's, the big thing with going back. Everybody that that's around you is man, this kid just keeps messing up. It happened to me. I could, oh, boom, you're arrested again. Who wants to be arrested again, man? I'm just telling you, anybody, you could do it, man. If I'm doing it, man, it took me to 40 years old to be able to actually, get, a solid footing in recovery. You know what I mean? It's nothing special I do. I just pray, go to meetings and all that. I figured I'd do another little video, put something out there, put some out there. You got to feed the birds sometimes, Man, this Jay-Z thing, huh? Jay-Z, Diddy. I guarantee you MGK is going to go down. You know what I mean? If you just look at the transformation he went since he signed to Diddy, everybody was saying it was when he battled him. I think it's because what he went through when he signed Diddy. He even said he took, a couple rips off of whatever Diddy gave him, and you can find that video right on YouTube, and he was pretty much incapacitated. You know what I mean? It's almost like he was giving him a little test dose to see what he was going to give the next person at his party. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's getting crazy out there. The CEO get took, they got the guy that got the CEO from the health care industry. And I got to say this is like the first thing that the left and the right are even agreeing on, like, maybe not that the guy should have been, finished off, but, that these healthcare insurance agents are pretty much evil. You know what I mean? Whether you think it's from, the last pandemic, or you think it's from the epidemic that they caused friggin' 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Or for them not covering any of the people, you know what I mean, that people pay these insurance fees every week or every month, and then when you need them, they're not there. Or the thing's sky high. You know what I mean? It's like, why am I even paying for insurance? I don't know, man. I just doing a little freestyle at the end, man. Hit like, subscribe, comment, support your man, because I support you. And if no one told you, man, and you're out there and you're struggling with addiction, you can get clean. If I did it, you could do it too. And I know multiple other people that have done it. You know what I mean? God bless you all. Have a great day. Peace.